Well, hi guys, Mark here. Well, I've been riding the NX500 now for over a week. Really got to like this bike. So anyway, I'm going to bring you the full review on it now. Stay tuned. So we'll run through all the specifications in the usual way, go for some ride on a few little light tracks and trails, on some A roads, up and over the Purbeck Hills, through town, and then we'll finish off with the final thoughts down at Poole Harbour. So price on these, very reasonable for what you're getting, I believe, £6,799. This is an A2 licence compatible bike. It's got the same engine that's used in all of the Honda 500s. This engine's been around for many years now. The more I ride this engine, the better it gets for me, and it seems to get smoother and smoother every time I ride one of these. 471cc parallel twin liquid cooled double overhead cam. This engine's putting out 47 horsepower at 8,600 RPM. So the same engine as in the CB500X. 43 Newton meters at 6,500 RPM. Apparently there have been a few sort of ECU improvements to give it a bit more pull from low down. 830mm seat height on this. Is a moderately tall bike. Just take a quick look at me on the bike. As a reference, I'm 5'7", 170 centimeters with a 30-inch inside leg. I'm not flat-footed, but I've got sort of balls of my feet down. So just to have a look as a reference and compare that for yourself. So just working around the bike, obviously ABS is standard these days. We've got a nice big 17.7 litre fuel tank. I have worked out at the pumps as to the miles per gallon, and as with all of these engines, they're always giving me around about 80 to the gallon. This one worked out an average of 82 to the gallon, which is very good with mixed riding. That's going to give you a range of well over 250 miles, which is brilliant. Honda quote 3.6 litres for 100 kilometres, which equates to about 78 miles per gallon. It's moderately heavy, 196 kilos wet weight. I didn't really find it a heavy bike to ride. It handles really sweetly. Tyres, we've got like a dual purpose block tread pattern Dunlop Trail Max. We've got a 160 on the rear and a 110 on the front. 19-inch front wheel, 17-inch rear wheel. I found the gearbox to be very slick and precise, no problems there at all. An assist and slipper clutch, which is probably the lightest clutch you're ever going to get on any motorbike. Top marks for that. New for this NX500 over the CB, we have this new lovely 5-inch TFT smartphone connectivity with the Honda Road Sync app. We've got Honda traction control as standard as well. LEDs all round. So a new headlight design. I will be putting a night riding section in as well for you. Suspension up front is the brilliant Showa big piston upside down forks, and a rear monoshock which is preload adjustable, non-adjustable front forks. Braking again very strong, Good feel, good power. Nissin twin discs up front, 2 piston sliding calipers there. No centre stand unfortunately, but it can be added for, I think it's about £180. Service intervals absolutely brilliant, 8,000 miles, same as all the Honda 500s. You can also get like the adventure packs, travel pack, urban pack, comfort pack, which has luggage, crash bars, heated grips, hand guards, all that sort of stuff. They're available in this very nice red, also a white and a black. Right, looking around the bike, guys, usual excellent Honda build quality. I do believe these are built in Thailand these days, but quality is excellent, as you'd expect from Honda. Anyway, let's do the test ride. Honda NX500, let's try this. So as soon as you swing a leg over, feels extremely comfortable. This seat is very, very plush, all day comfort. I'm 5'7", 170 centimetres, and I'm not quite flat-footed, but the bike doesn't feel intimidating at all. I'm just going to run through all the switch gear and controls for you. So we have the assist and slipper clutch, which is very, very light. You've got your headlight, high and low beam and flasher. That's your traction control on or off, horn indicators, menu scroll. Over this side, a span adjustable front brake lever. Front brakes are very good on this. Engine kill switch, hazards, and our starter button. So all very simple, no sort of fancy electronics on this, but that's what this bike is all about really. So this nice new TFT, really I like this a lot. It looks really good in the sunlight, doesn't seem to reflect or anything like that. Got your rev counter, all your warning lights, all your trips. You've got all your smartphone connectivity there, miles per gallon, fuel gauge, really nice display that, pretty simple, all your warning lights down the side there, so that's all good. So start it up, straight away, that lovely parallel twin that's been around for absolutely years. It's a very solid performer, very smooth, decent performance and very economical, so I managed to get 82 to the gallon out of these, so brilliant. So easily into first gear and away we go. Out on the open road on the lovely NX500, and what a cracking machine this is, really good. I do love these adventure style bikes, they just ride so sweetly. Anyway, starting off with the mirrors, decent little units, nice clear view behind there. I can see a bit of my elbows, but on the whole it's a decent, very clear view behind there, so that's great. I do like that they've provided a decent tall screen to it. It's non-adjustable. I'm sure there's taller options if you want it, but it's given me a very good bit of protection at the moment. Sort of nice sort of steel bubble of air just there, so that's great. This new TFT is really nice, very, very easy to read in this bright sunlight today. Loads of information there, so yeah, 5 stars for that new display there, very good. The overall riding position, obviously it's an adventure bike, pretty much dead upright, big wide bars here that are nicely raked back, but the overall feel of the bike, the seat comfort, the ride quality from the suspension, it's just superb. You know, for this type of riding in the UK, bumpy roads, just cruising along like this little bike is one of the best. You know, relatively cheap to buy, goes on forever. You know, they're 100% reliable, super economical, easy to get parts for. You know, what's not to like about them? The ride quality front and rear is superb, and the way this thing steers and handles is absolutely sweet. Really, really nice. say if this was my bike, I'd put some heated grips on it, probably some Oxfords, hand guards here, and a top box at the back, and that'd be me good to go. You could definitely ride this all day long. So we'll take it on a dual carriageway a bit later, but so far this has been one of the smoothest Honda 500s I've tried. It's very, very smooth. So fifth gear now, just going to wind it open a bit. So it's a very, very flexible little engine. It's very keen and free revving. Right, nothing behind, just try the front brakes out. Very good indeed, very strong. Down to second, we're just going to rev it out now. As you can see, it's no slouch. Easily up to 60 miles an hour and beyond. Top speed on this round about 100 miles an hour. Around these bends, really hustle it round. Feels sure-footed, but it's just the way the whole bike gives you a feeling of confidence. It doesn't feel heavy. Suspension and the seat comfort all combine into a really nice, sweet ride, this one. So top gear at the moment, 50 miles an hour, wind it open. As you can see, pulls very strongly even in top gear. Throttle response, absolutely perfect, very mellow, not sharp at all. Combine that with a silky light clutch and a very light gearbox. It's just a very, very easy bike to ride, this. You know, I mean, it may only be 471cc, 47 horsepower, but you could definitely ride this all day and do some rack the miles up on this. Back brake again is pretty decent. Right, let's try some country roads now, up over the Purbex. Here's a little fun test for the NX500. We're just going to be climbing up this hill now, up over the top of the Purbex. You've got Lulworth MOD firing ranges over there, historical Tyneham village up over the top there. So it's just a nadgery sort of twisty little climb, this one. So I'm just keeping it in fourth gear at the moment. Super smooth, loads of pull up this hill, pretty steep this hill. Gonna have glorious views at the top in a minute. So it's very bumpy up here. The NX is sort of taking it in its stride. I mean, to be honest, for roads like this in the world, I can't think of a better bike really. It's nicely weighted, still got enough power, it's very tractable. It's very, very docile at low speeds. I mean, look at this, you know, third gear, 20 miles an hour, pulling up a hill, just over 2,000 revs, and it's just taking it all in its stride. There's plenty of pull if you open it up. It feels very safe and sure-footed. So even in fourth gear at just over 2,000 revs, we still have plenty of pull. So just climbing up to the top now. Got lovely views up here. So yeah, that little test there is a typical road the NX is going to be used on. Twisty, bumpy. This sort of bike is absolutely perfect for that. It's comfortable. Just peaking at the top now with lovely views up over there of Poole Harbour. So right guys, let's see what this is like now on a dual carriageway. We're fourth gear, going to wind it out through that lovely mid-range. No need to over rev it. Between 4,000 and 6,000 is where this bike's at its best. Quite windy today, so there you go, very easy 70 miles an hour, 5,000 RPM. Very stable, holds its line well, decent amount of protection from the wind there. Opening it up in top gear, plenty of pull, no problems with easy overtakes. So not at one point have I found there any nasty vibrations on this bike. I just drop it down to fifth, 6,000 revs. There's a tiny little bit of a buzz that comes through the foot pegs, just over 6,000 RPM. But on the whole, it's totally acceptable for a parallel twin 180-degree crank. So no problems whatsoever. It's on the whole a very smooth engine. You know, this bike will sit like this all day long. No sort of like, you know, numb hands or feet. No vibrations through the seat whatsoever. Slowing it down to 60, doing a wide open. As you can see, very keen. But the main thing is that it's very stable, very comfortable, and this bike steers so nicely. It just rides so very nicely indeed. You know, the steering, the handling, all sort of merges together to make a really nice all-round package. Well, hi guys, and welcome to a night riding section on the Honda NX500. So that's currently indicators on low beam. Nice little bright rear LED there, indicators all good, and high beam, easy to flick on. So it's basically sort of top and bottom are on, and the high beam is the bottom section. So that's low, that's flicking it onto high beam now, which is exceptionally bright, really nice. Nice that the little menu button there is illuminated, and that's just daytime sort of indicators on all the time for added visibility. Anyway, let's try this out. So back to low beam now. Nice that the TFT's gone to night mode, nice and dark on the eyes. And away we go. So far it's looking really nice and bright. So I always say this, but the GoPro never picks up the light as good as I can see it, so you just have to take my word for it. So far on low beam it's a very wide swathe of light right onto the hedges, onto the verges both sides there, so that's really good. So we're just gonna flick it onto high beam now. That's good. So I mean, low beam actually reaches out quite a way anyway, and high beam adds that sort of extra sort of 30 meters or so. So we're still on low beam. Just going to take it steady tonight. So that's your high beam now, and that's really good. That makes night riding a pleasure. I can quite happily ride this long distances at night with those lights. Very bright, nice white LEDs. So that's low beam, I'm sorry, that's high beam, very good indeed, reaching out a good sort of 50-60 meters in front of me there. And that's your low beam. Again, low beam is very good. You feel nice and safe even on low beam. I do like the dash, very easy on the eye. You can see all my information there. High beams, nice and easy to flick up and down. So again, that's high beam, down to low, that's your flasher, up to high again. So I mean, that's a very, very nice bright light reaching way out in front of me. You know, I'm just whizzing along now at the legal limit, and I can see plenty far ahead in front of me, feeling very safe doing this sort of speed at night time. So down to low, even low beams, very good indeed. But it's the width of the light that's impressive, right out both sides. It's a very wide beam, and there's your high beam. So there you go, guys. The NX500 lights get 5 stars from me. So what's the NX500 like on light tracks and trails like this? So at the moment I'm just standing up. Doesn't feel a heavy bike, it's just got a nice weight to it. Doesn't feel light, but it's not like a big GS 1200, but so it's quite unintimidating to take off road, should we say. Feels pretty manoeuvrable with that 19-inch wheel. Obviously got the security of that traction control as well. But the suspension is pretty long travel, and it's soaking up all these bumps really well. It's giving a very smooth ride actually down here, so that's good. So just standing up again, feels very good, nice and controlled, nice position there standing up. Bit rough down here. Again, it all feels very controllable, nice wide bars. Dunlop Trail Max tyres doing a good job. For light tracks and trails, and even a little bit more extreme as well, I would say the NX500 is very capable indeed. What's the NX like through town then? So we're in 3rd gear at the moment, just trundling along at 30 miles an hour. It's such a tractable engine, this. It's probably, you know, you wouldn't get an easier mannered bike through town or just general riding. Perfect fueling, no snatchiness. 4th gear, look, 3000 revs, just purring along. No heat from the engine that I can feel. Just down to 2nd now with that super light clutch and gearbox. Really nice steering around all the bends. So I've been on this bike all morning now, and it's still extremely comfortable. It's down to 2nd gear now. It's good, very good pickup from low RPMs. It really is a superb little engine, this is. Honda haven't changed this engine for many years because it's that good. So 3rd gear still, just 2000 revs, pulls nicely into 4th gear, really happy, 30 miles an hour, superb visibility, very smooth at these sort of revs. So as you can see, guys, the NX500 absolutely excels at town and low speed work, so it's superb. We're just down at the lovely Poole Harbour. Just going to wrap this up down here and have our final thoughts. Now I'll just give you a little look at that TFT. Very nice, like that a lot. Little sound check. So yeah, very, very impressed with that indeed. So yeah, Honda have done a really good thing with this. You know, it rides very much the same as the CB500, but the little updates, you know, the new screen, the new front, it really is good. So it's not that heavy off the side stand. It's very easy to push about as well. So no worries there. So I'd probably fit a centre stand if this was mine. So just looking around the bike, So suspension is really good. It's non-adjustable up front, preload at the rear, but it gives a very, very comfortable ride over all sorts of surfaces. As you can see today, off-road and up those hills, it was super comfortable for the time I've been on it. Very, very economical. That engine's a little peach. It's very smooth, it's fun with plenty of torque. Brakes are decent on it. So that seat is really, really comfortable. I have taken someone on the back as well, no problems there at all, for about an hour, so that was superb. Gearbox, clutch, all super light as you'd expect from Honda. So you know, if you're after a sort of a middleweight ADV multi-purpose do everything bike, you really can't go wrong with these guys. So if you could post your comments down below, let me know what you think about the new NX500. Have you got one? If you wouldn't mind giving me a like, share and subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you again in a week or so for another review, guys. Ride safe and bye for now.